Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something that, it promises to really change how you speak and think in English.
Yeah, we're talking about fluency.
Exactly. If you've ever had that, that frustrating pause, that scramble for the right word, or just wished your English conversations flowed a bit more naturally, maybe were even, more fun.
Then you're definitely in the right place.
We're aiming to cut through the usual advice, find those practical keys, the tools that can really unlock a new level of confidence for you.
That's the mission today, absolutely.
Right.
We're digging into our source, easy English fluency, adventure in conversation.
Okay.
And we want to pull out the core insights that can genuinely help you boost those conversation skills.
And it's important to say up front, right? This isn't about perfect grammar.
Not at all. Or, memorizing the entire dictionary. It's about practical, real-world use.
Like a shortcut.
Sort of a shortcut, yeah, to a more effective, more enjoyable communication for anyone who wants to speak English with a bit more ease.
Okay, so let's unpack that then, starting right at the beginning.
Yeah.
What does fluency actually mean? Because I think for a lot of us, it conjures up this image,
Yeah.
Someone speaking perfectly, flawlessly.
Like a robot almost.
Yeah. No pauses, no errors, just complex sentences rolling off the tongue. And thinking it's about knowing millions of words or perfect grammar, it can feel really daunting.
It really can.
Yeah.
Paralyzing even.
So is that really fluency? Or are we kind of missing something fundamental?
Well, this is where our source offers something really interesting, almost counterintuitive.
Okay.
Fluency isn't really about the absence of mistakes. It's more about the continuity you maintain despite them.
Continuity, like keeping going.
Exactly. It's about that smooth flow, even if you stumble a bit. Like, think of a river, right? It keeps moving, even with rocks in the way.
Ah, okay. That challenges that whole perfection myth.
It really does.
Yeah.
So fluency at its core is about the smoothness of speaking and understanding in real time, that easy back and forth.
The source had that analogy, right, about dancing.
Yes, that's a great one. You might know all the steps, technically, but fluency, that's when you can just move to the music without thinking so hard about every single step.
You're just dancing, feeling it.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you miss a beat now and then, is the overall movement.
That dancing image is helpful, definitely. But I imagine for a lot of listeners, that effortless movement still feels, pretty far away.
Sure.
How do we help them see that even the maybe awkward first steps are part of learning the dance?
Our source uses a really brilliant everyday example for this. Ordering coffee.
Ah, yes. We can all relate to that.
So picture someone who isn't fluent yet trying to get their coffee.
Okay.
It might sound a bit like, I want a big coffee with milk.
Right. You can almost hear the gears turning. Each word feels like a struggle.
Exactly. We've all been there in some situation, haven't we? That feeling of effort.
Definitely.
Now, contrast that with someone who's fluent. They just walk up and say, "Hi, I'd like a large coffee with milk, please."
Smooth. Effortless.
Precisely. The difference isn't just the vocabulary, it's the delivery, the lack of visible struggle. It just flows.
That clarity, that ease, that's the goal.
Yes. And what's fascinating is the goal isn't zero mistakes. It's being able to recover quickly, keep the conversation moving.
Okay, that flow idea is really appealing. But I bet some people are thinking, how do I get that flow if I'm still making mistakes? How can I be smooth if I'm not perfect?
Yeah, it feels like a catch-22, doesn't it?
It does. Does the source offer a way to bridge that gap between wanting flow and knowing you'll mess up sometimes?
It absolutely does. And this is maybe the most crucial tip. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress.
Ah, I like that. Progress, not perfection.
It's incredibly freeing, right? Because it just reframes the whole learning process. Everyone makes mistakes.
Even native speakers.
Absolutely, all the time.
Yeah.
But it's the fear of mistakes that often stops learners cold.
Stops them from even trying.
Exactly. It's like the fear overrides the actual goal, which is communication. It's like our brain prioritizes not being embarrassed over actually understanding or being understood.
That makes so much sense.
But when you shift your focus to progress, suddenly every mistake isn't a failure. It's data.
Data.
Yeah, information, a chance to learn something. They become stepping stones, not walls. They actually push you forward.
Okay, so mindset is key. Progress over perfection. Fluency is flow. Now, how do we actually build that flow? What are the practical things you can do in conversations?
Right, because theory is one thing, action is another.
Our source, Easy English Fluency, mentions some really powerful strategies, things you can use immediately.
Yes, these are tools, techniques to make your interactions better, richer, to shift you from just, waiting to speak to actively engaging.
First one, active listening. The source calls it huge EE.
And it really is. It's so much more than just being quiet while someone else talks.
Or planning your response in your head.
Exactly. We're all guilty of that sometimes. Active listening is about really tuning in, absorbing what they're saying, being present.
So how do you do that practically?
Well, the source suggests going beyond just nodding along. Try using little phrases like, "Oh, that's interesting," or "Really, tell me more about that."
Show genuine curiosity.
Precisely. And here's the interesting psychological bit. People generally like talking about themselves, their experiences.
Sure.
When you show you're genuinely listening, you're not just getting information, you're building rapport. You make them feel valued.
And that encourages them to say more.
Yes, and it naturally gives you more to ask follow-up questions about. It keeps the conversation going. And honestly, active listening isn't just for English, is it?
No, it's fundamental communication, full stop.
Right. It deepens understanding, makes the whole thing more enjoyable for everyone.
Okay, so active listening is key. Now, what about those moments when we're talking and maybe we're searching for a word, our source talks about filler words?
Ah, yes, the ums and ahs.
The things we're often told are terrible, like a sign of bad English. I have to confess, I've definitely tried to eliminate every single or like.
Many people do. We're conditioned to think they sound unprofessional or hesitant.
But the source has a different take.
It does. It reframes them. While you don't want to overuse them, of course, filler words can actually be strategic tools.
Tools? How so?
They buy you thinking time, crucial milliseconds to organize your thoughts without just silence, that awkward pause.
Okay. So instead of a dead stop, a little keeps the channel open while your brain catches up.
Exactly. The example given is like, I was thinking about going to the movies, that and, allow for a tiny mental pause.
So it raises that question then. Are we sometimes chasing this robotic, pause-free ideal?
At the expense of just sounding like a normal human being? I think so. Native speakers use them all the time.
Right.
So the nuance is, don't lean on them too heavily, but don't be terrified of them either. Using them strategically can actually make you sound more natural, not less.
That is a really powerful reframe, turning a perceived weakness into a potential tool. Okay, what else helps keep conversations flowing? Avoid those dead ends.
Open-ended questions. Absolutely crucial.
We've all been there, right? You ask something, get a yes or no.
And crickets. Awkward silence. You're scrambling for the next thing to say.
Yeah. So open-ended questions are the solution.
They're a huge part of it. They're designed to get more than just a one-word answer. The source gives a simple example. Instead of, "Do you like pizza?"
Which gets a yes or no.
Right. Ask, "What's your favorite kind of pizza and why?"
That immediately invites a story, an opinion, details.
Exactly. The tip here is to think about using those question words. Who, what, where, when, why, and how.
The classic W questions plus how.
They're the building blocks for questions that encourage people to elaborate, share more, and keep that dialogue moving. Turns a simple exchange into a real conversation.
Okay, active listening, strategic fillers, open-ended questions. What's the last big strategy?
This one tackles fear again. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification.
Oh, that's a big one. It feels embarrassing sometimes, like you're admitting you didn't understand. Makes you feel less smart, maybe?
It can feel that way, but our source argues the opposite. Asking for clarification isn't weakness. It's actually a sign of engagement.
Engagement? How?
Think about it. If someone asks you, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "What does that word mean?" What are they really saying?
You're saying they want to understand me properly.
Precisely. What you're saying matters, and I want to get it right. That shows respect. It shows you're invested in the conversation.
So it actually builds rapport rather than breaking it.
Absolutely. It turns that potential awkwardness into a moment of connection, of ensuring mutual understanding. It's totally normal, even for native speakers. We should all feel empowered to just ask.
Okay, so we have the mindset progress over perfection. We have these great strategies, active listening, fillers, open questions, asking for clarification. Now, how do we make them stick?
Right. Putting it all into practice. That's the key. Knowledge isn't enough. You need to build the habits.
Turn insights into instincts, almost. So what are some practical ways to do that daily?
The source offers a few really effective ones.
Okay, first one sounds maybe a bit weird. Talk to yourself. Yes, it might sound a little eccentric, but it's incredibly powerful. Just narrate your day, your actions, out loud. In English.
Like, okay, I'm making coffee now, need the mug.
Exactly like that. Okay, I'm making a sandwich. First, I need some bread, then the cheese. It seems simple, maybe silly.
Yeah.
But what you're doing is activating the English part of your brain in a totally safe, zero pressure zone.
No one's judging your grammar while you make a sandwich.
Right. It helps shorten that gap between thinking a thought and saying it out loud. It bypasses that internal critic.
Builds automaticity. Makes it smoother when you're talking to someone else.
Precisely. It's great practice for just verbalizing thoughts.
That's okay, I can see that. Turn mundane moments into practice. What else? Find a language partner. This is a classic, but still really effective.
Someone else who's learning, or maybe a native speaker.
Either works. Someone you can just chat with regularly. And the great thing is, it's easier than ever now.
With apps and websites.
Yeah, tons of language exchange apps, online communities. But here's a pro tip from the source to make those sessions really count.
Okay.
Set specific goals for your conversations.
Not just let's chat.
Right. Maybe decide, okay, today I'm going to practice using conditionals, or I'm going to focus on asking why questions.
Gives it focus, makes it targeted practice.
Exactly. It transforms a casual chat into a focused workout for specific skills.
Yeah.
You get immediate feedback in a real context.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, talk to yourself, find a partner with goals. What's the third big practice method?
Immerse yourself. Create your own little English world.
Surround yourself with the language.
As much as possible. Don't just wait for English practice opportunities. Actively build them into your life.
How? Like move to London.
Huh. Well, that would work, but no, you don't need to go that far. It's about integrating it into what you already do and enjoy.
Okay.
Watch movies or TV shows you like, but in English. Listen to English music. Read books, articles, websites about your hobbies, but in English.
So if you love cooking, watch English cooking channels.
Perfect example. If you're into gaming, switch the game language to English. The key is making it enjoyable, tapping into your existing interests.
Makes it feel less like studying.
Exactly. A specific tip is using English subtitles when you watch things. Maybe even pause and try repeating lines out loud. Mimic the pronunciation, the rhythm.
Get a feel for the natural flow.
Right. And this really raises that question. How can you weave English into your passions instead of treating it like this separate chore?
When learning feels like fun, it sticks better.
It happens almost without you noticing. You're just enjoying yourself and improving at the same time.
Fantastic. Okay, this has been a really insightful deep dive into making English conversations flow better.
It's all about practical steps.
Yeah, and the big takeaway for me, and hopefully for you listening, is that fluency. It's a journey. It's not some finish line you cross.
That's only that.
So you need to be patient with yourself. Keep practicing those strategies. And honestly, don't fear the mistakes. They're just signs you're trying, you're learning.
Exactly. They show you're in the game.
You've absolutely got this.
That really sums it up well.
Yeah.
Remember that idea of the dance. Fluency is about that smoothness, that rhythm. Every little bit of practice, every conversation, every mistake you learn from, it's all part of finding your rhythm, building that effortless flow. Progress, not perfection.
Embrace the journey.
So thinking about that journey, that dance, here's something for you to consider.
Okay.
What small, genuinely enjoyable step will you take today? Something to make your English feel just a little bit more like that effortless dance and a little less like a rigid, stressful checklist.